I'm talking to Oliver Väärtnõu from Cybernetics. Cybernetics creates the X-Road programming. Can you describe Cybernetics for a moment and what kind of service you provide?
We do a lot of e-government software development to Estonia, but other countries as well. We've been around from the middle of 1990s. We grew out from a research institute that did a lot of works for information security in Estonia, and thus we actually evolved out of that. Today our main focus is secure data exchange, tax and customs software, work on digital identities and maritime communications.
Yeah. How many people do you have?
We have about 120 people. We're constantly growing.
You're a nice small boutique, 120.
Yeah.
We think 120 people is nicely, but you're big in Estonia, I'm sure.
We're a medium-sized company. We're not the largest in Estonia, but we're not smaller as well.
Yeah. Who is it owned by?
We're private owned, and actually we're owned by the employees. So that's weird.
Great. No. 50% is e-government. Now, of course, we know you about the X-Road. What exactly do you build? What percentage of the X-Road do you build?
We build the whole core of the X-Road. Everything that is taking care of the data communication. This is what we have done in Estonia since the beginning. There are other companies that have built add-ons to X-Road, like portals, some kind of adapter servers, etc. But we are the core developers of the X-Road.
So you're the core encryptor of the messages?
Yes, core encryptor of the messages and doing the security servers, but also the monitoring system for the X-Road.
Yeah. So, of course, we are very interested in X-Road. It looks wonderful. You spend very, very little money in ICT, and everything seems to work with these 3,300 services. If we want to use in the Netherlands, who has also hundreds and hundreds of databases and already even an installed system, how could we use the experience of the X-Road in our country? What steps would we have to take?
Well, I think everything starts from building a consensus in the society that you have a problem and that you need to fix it, and you have to understand like what are the different ways of fixing that. Most of the countries, they actually do kind of an analysis of what is actually wrong and what are the alternatives, and they come up with. They usually come up with that they need a similar technology like X-Road. You can hire consultants doing that, or the government can do this studies by themselves. In Finland, they did it by themselves. Then usually...
In Finland, they're going to implement X-Road 6.0 when?
15th of November it goes live this year.
And then slowly a number of databases are going to be connected, or?
Yeah, it's a step-by-step process, but the government is really leading that process, is leading the way, trying to make the integration possible, and actually also giving funding that actually these different agencies get connected.
Yeah, so interesting. Finland is a very highly developed country, already has a lot of old systems. If they can make the change, the Dutch can too. If you, I mean, it is a legal framework, X-Road. It is law. It is organization, and it is technology. How would you describe the different parts?
Well, you need a legal system to support it because the value is that all the message exchange that is going on X-Road has to have a legal value. So this actually gives it a lot of power. Organizational, you have to have a... You
have a German standard. You've adopted a German standard?
We have adopted a BSI standard into the Estonian context. And that is actually, the roots are in the German standard, but it's our own kind of version, tree trunk of it. So it's a bit of a further development from that. That's one part. Organizational part, you need to have a central body that is responsible for running the X-Road, the managing of the central system that's foreseeing that everything is up and running, and they provide the first level support for the government. And also they need to kind of push the agenda really strongly inside the country. And that's actually...
Where do we find somebody in the Netherlands, a politician? Is that a politician or is that a civil servant?
It's in Estonia, it's a government agency that is under the ministry.
Yeah, but I mean, Estonia is because you had nothing. What about Finland?
When we started,
what about Finland?
When we started, in Finland it's the Minister of Finance. When we started, the process was initiated by the Prime Minister. So it was considered as a large reform. And that
1990, the start of a country is different. But in Finland, it is the Minister of Finance. Is it the political Minister of Finance, or is it the civil servants inside that organization who were convinced it needed to be changed?
The decision was made by the cabinet to adopt X-Road. So it was a political decision to go on with it. And then they made the Minister of Finance responsible for making it happen.
Okay. The technology is, say, 20% and is working fine. The organization and the politics is the main thing which needs to be installed.
Pretty much, and the legal framework. Okay, I would put it that legal framework 15%, technology 40%, and the last one 50% in the organizational and political leadership for the country.
What services can you provide for a country to implement X-Road?
What we can do the piloting, we can do the consulting for setting up the technology, we can do the customization of the technology, we can pretty much do everything. But the country has to find out that it needs it. Yeah.
So if you look at Finland, is that a 1 million, a 5 million, or a $10 million investment in technology in your company?
It's a rather small investment in our company, but it's a very large investment for the Finland to create the framework that it's running in, and also to push the different kind of, to create incentive for other organizations to be part of it.
Last question: would you come to Holland to explain it to the poor souls?
Yes.
Thank you for your time.